South Carolina rental laws outline the rules in the state regarding lease agreements and evictions. We'll examine relevant laws for standard lease agreements, month-to-month lease agreements, and evictions. Standard lease agreement. A standard lease gives an overview of the terms between a landlord and tenant for the renting of property. A standard lease is commonly a one-year fixed period and is the most widely used rental contract. Month-to-month lease. A month-to-month lease, also called a tenancy at will, is an agreement between a landlord and tenant that renews automatically every month and terminates upon notice by either party. In South Carolina, notice must be provided a minimum of 30 days prior to termination as required by law. Required disclosures. In South Carolina, the following disclosures are required to be included as part of the lease. Landlord manager disclosure. The name and address of the owner or the person authorized to manage the property must be disclosed to the tenant. Unequal deposits. If the landlord owns more than 4 adjoining dwelling units and charges different deposit amounts for different individuals, the rules for setting these amounts must be listed in a conspicuous place by the landlord or listed in the rental contract. Landlord access. In South Carolina, the landlord is required to provide at least 24 hours notice before entering the property for repairs or any other non-emergency reasons. Security deposit laws. In South Carolina, there is no cap to what landlords can charge for security. The money must be returned to the tenant within 30 days of terminating the lease. Eviction laws. There are 2 legally accepted causes for eviction in South Carolina. Non-payment of rent. If the tenant is late on rent, the landlord can issue a 5-day notice to pay or quit. This gives the tenant 5 days to pay the rent in full, along with any penalties, or vacate the property. If they do neither, the landlord may be forced to seek an eviction from the court. Non-compliance. If the tenant breaks any portion of the lease other than late rent, the landlord may give the tenant 14 days to comply with the lease or vacate the property.